Okay, welcome back. I'm making a video about my goals for this channel for 2026, and it might be an inopportune time to do that because I'm going to be cleaning my kitchen and making food at the same time, but that's about how much time I have today. At its core, my goals for this channel is not to become some full-time YouTuber. I want to make my videos better. I hope that they are either entertaining or useful or insightful, and I want to be consistent with it. I want to post once a week on the channel for the next quarter. There's sort of so much in the air of what I'm doing with my life right now that I'm not making a big, long 2026 goal, but I'm looking for like a Q1 goal. I'm running out of time this week to make that happen, hence you getting this update while I clean my kitchen and make myself some lunch. As I've started to look into making a channel and what makes channels successful and like how to grow on YouTube, the more I realize it's very, very algorithm based. There is a method and people know how to tap into the algorithm to get it to get attention. There's like a whole formula, which makes perfect sense and is totally fine. And I give kudos to the creators who work in that way. It's not that I don't want my videos to reach people. I definitely do. It's not super fun to make a whole video and then not have anyone watch it. What I will say is it's far more important to me is to make things that I want to make. The reason I'm making a YouTube channel in the first place is I've chosen pretty consistently over the last 10 years an unusual path in life, and it looks as if I will continue to do so for the next handful of years at the very least. And because of that, I'm just like documenting it, not just for myself, but for other people who maybe aren't exposed to more alternative ways of living and would like to see more of what goes on behind the scenes. Also, I grew up very in my own head. I was constantly terrified what everyone thought about me, and I was desperate to be liked. I'm not trying to be on some sort of like sad arc here for this video, but I had very like massive fears around rejection because I was gay and grew up in Southwest Missouri. And I think because of that, there's been like a people-pleasing tendency in me that has carried over into my adult life. Now, I think projecting all of my thoughts and opinions on the internet could end up being an ineffective way to reach my personal goals in my life. And if that proves to be the case, that's okay. I believe that there is a way for me to find a way to express myself, be okay with failure, be okay with embarrassing myself. That's sort of the point. You know, if you're trying to take care of everyone else and trying to take care of your own image as far as everyone else is concerned, first of all, it's a full-time job and it's an impossible job. And second of all, you're preventing yourself from like being your full authentic self because you're too busy trying to be like everyone else, or at least fit into some sort of mold. And so I'm kind of interested throughout this YouTube journey of like experimenting, putting myself out there, and maybe being a little embarrassed about it, which I am. Like, I'm not used to doing this sort of thing. I would much rather have an audience of like 1,000 people total on YouTube. Like, first of all, right now I have like 4 subscribers, far from 1,000, but I would rather like post weekly for the next 3 months, year, 2 years, whatever it might end up being, and have 1,000 followers at the end of that, and have this be my channel, right? With like my people. You know, I would so much rather have that than be like, how do I need to track this? Okay, so YouTube responds really well to this topic, and this topic. I'm gonna have my videos look like everyone else's. I'm gonna have my thumbnails look like everyone else's. That's all well and good. Like, no shame to the creators who are working in that direction. I might choose to one day. Like, who knows? Maybe I enjoy making YouTube videos so much it's something that I choose to focus on more in the future. Totally fine. Right now, it's about me experimenting. My most popular video by far right now is my video on heated rivalry. And I really enjoyed making that video. I didn't make it because heated rivalry is popular and I wanted to try to get more views. I made it because like I happened to watch the show when I was sick, was thinking about it a lot. I was making YouTube videos and it made sense to make my video for that week about that topic. If I wanted this channel to be traditionally successful, what I would do, I would make my next 10 videos about heated rivalry. And I could just do that, okay, for the next couple of months. Maybe eventually branch out to do other shows. Because the algorithm understands what type of videos you're putting out, like I would then be a channel who makes reviews for TV shows. It would then suggest my content to people who want to watch reviews of TV shows. And more people would watch it, and that would be great. But the thing is about my life is I don't want to be watching TV all the time. For me, I'm choosing to experiment in a lot of different things. If you choose to follow my channel, you're like, oh, well, I liked this heated rivalry video, but it's weird because the next week you post a video about like some cycle tour that you went on in New Zealand. I agree, there's probably not a whole lot of overlap there. I'm not expecting everyone to like everything. I am just making what makes sense for me in the moment. So last year was all over the place. I lived in Asheville, North Carolina for several months. I lived back home in Missouri for several months. I came to Denver temporarily and then went back to Kansas City and then ended up back in Denver. I was dog sitting and house sitting and car camping, and I was writing music, and I was trying to start this YouTube channel. I seriously considered starting a small business selling my artwork. I am still considering doing that. There are just so many disparate things going on in my brain all the time. There's so much that needs to happen, and it's part of why I'm recording this video the way that I am. After the chaos of last year, it became really obvious to me that I have a lot of things that I want to do with my life, but without any sort of consistency and without any sort of discipline, none of those things are going to happen. I'm gonna have to pick and choose some of those things, at least for now. It's too much, it doesn't make sense, and everything will fail. I am cool with every single one of those individual things failing in its own time. Like, that's fine. I hope it's not true. I hope it's not what happens. I just don't want it to fail because of my own inability to be consistent. I do think it's probably like objectively stupid to try to make a channel this way when I understand that YouTube works this way, but I'm gonna continue to work this way and become less successful for it. I understand that that's probably like an objectively dumb thing to do, but I think it's only dumb if your objective is to optimize for views. If I don't care who's watching my video, I just want to see that number tick up and up and up more and more and more as much as possible, then I could take that route. And I understand that. I want to use this as an opportunity to explore the things that I am interested in and hopefully take people along the ride who are interested enough in doing so. I mentioned that I'm doing quarterly goals this year, and that is because I am very much at like this nexus of what I want to do. Last year, I was very hellbound and determined to get back to Sydney, Australia, where I had been living the year prior. And after a series of setbacks, it just became less and less tenable to do so. And I've been on the fence about continuing to go back through that process. I'm living in Denver, Colorado now, and I'm seriously considering grad school abroad. I'm looking at switching careers. There's just a lot of moving parts, right? So to sit there and say, my goal for 2026 is to do X or Y or Z does not make a whole lot of sense to me right now. I can make a choice here in 2 months that could put me in another country, right? So I'm not trying to tether myself down into any one thing in particular. But as I do want to create videos for YouTube, and I do want to start hopefully collecting some subscribers and some people who are interested in this process along the way, I think it is important to have the discipline to be consistent and to make my goals for this quarter possible. I recently started following this YouTuber, Zach, something like that. I don't know. I'll look it up. I'll put his channel there. But he's hysterical and like has, I think, a really good ability to like just draw you in to his stories. And I would love to be even like a fraction as successful as that as he is. But it kind of inspired me. I'm like, I have all of these insane stories from like at least the last 10 years of traveling. I've kind of lived all over. I've been doing a lot of random jobs. My life's sort of crazy, and amongst all of that chaos has been a lot of really fun and exciting things. There are so many random funny events that have happened that I think would make for really entertaining short form videos. So some weeks I might do that. It's not the best sell, admittedly, to you as a potential viewer of what I'm going to be up to when I can't tell you exactly what that's going to be from week to week. I think my promise to you is to try to make the best thing that I can make, to try to make the most true to myself, authentic thing that I can make, and to get better and better each time in some way. Get better at editing, get better at sound, get better at storytelling, whatever it may be. I don't want to keep babbling on about this. I think you get the point. If I end up wanting to do this more, it'll get more focused. If coming along for that ride is something that you're interested in, I would really appreciate a subscribe. I would really appreciate a like on the video, a comment on the video. That does help the very few people who might come across it find the video. And also just know that because it is going to be a bit of a scattershot, I understand that you might not be into everything, and that's totally fine. I've rambled on long enough. Thanks for watching. Those are my goals for 2026, at least the first quarter of it, and I hope to see you all come along the way. Thanks. P.S. This is not a food channel, nor will it ever be, but I just figured you've been watching me make it this whole time. You might as well see the finished product. It's called avocado pasta, and honestly, it slaps. It looks very green and maybe, not appetizing to some of y'all, but it's really good.